This conference will now be recorded.
Welcome to 479 Spotlight, where we provide free promotion to local businesses in NWA to give them more exposure and create more trust in the community. Overall, we want to provide an inside look to our local business heroes that keep NWA running. My name is Brock Holland, a small business owner in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and founder of 479 Spotlight. And today we have Wendy Kane with Kane Accounting, based in Fayetteville, Arkansas. These interviews have two main focuses. First, we're going to talk about Kane Accounting and what it does as a business and who it serves. And then we're going to shift and talk about Wendy's experience in running this business as an entrepreneur and kind of her story in getting things going. So, Wendy, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Brock. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you very much. Thank you so much for being here. You ready to get started?
Yes, thanks for having me.
Great, great, great. So let's start with, in a sentence or two, what does Kane Accounting do?
I do bookkeeping and payroll for independent contractors and small businesses.
Oh, man, it's concise in a box. I love that. That was great. And how long has Kane Accounting been doing this?
I have been at this for 5 years now.
Congrats. Congratulations. So let's better define, you kind of already mentioned this in your statement, but who do you serve? Who would you say is your ideal customer?
My ideal customer, when we're thinking of independent contractors, is a lot of people who don't necessarily realize that by being an independent contractor, they are self-employed
Mm,
and they have to keep up with their own income and expenses and all of that for tax purposes. So it generally works out best if the contractor has revenue around $100,000 a year. Um, I can take people who have less than that if they're just busy. I tend to get two people. One is either their business has grown so much that they just can't keep up with the bookkeeping themselves anymore. Another person is like, I don't know, this is taxes, I don't know, I don't care, that's numbers, I don't like that type of stuff. And so, I don't want anyone to think, oh, well, I only make 80,000 a year, I can't use you, because I certainly can. And even for people who make less than that, who think they couldn't afford me, I do offer like a one-time QuickBooks setup and consulting session so that I can at least get them started off on the right foot. And then if they think they can keep up with the bookkeeping themselves, they do. If not, they're welcome to contact me again and say, okay, never mind, you can do it.
right, right. Okay, that's perfect. That's awesome. And so essentially what you're doing for them is whether if it's a time crunch or if they've just gotten bigger and they can't really, quite handle or keep all the organization together, or for someone that just doesn't even want to mess with, numbers and doesn't want to mess with putting it together. Correct.
Yes, like I said, it's usually people who either don't have time or just that's not their strong suit.
Sure.
That's what I like to do. And bookkeeping is not many people go into business because they want to use QuickBooks.
Right.
Go into
Right.
business to serve their clients and their customers, and they don't go, wow, I can't wait to fill out a Schedule C. That sounds awesome. No one says that.
Right. Okay, awesome. So if a potential customer was making a decision between, your business and maybe, let's say, three or four others in Fayetteville or Northwest Arkansas, why would you suggest that they at least give you a try first?
I am a CPA, and for 10 years prior to going out on my own, I did work at CPA firms doing taxes. So I know what a tax preparer and the IRS are looking for. So
Hmm,
I can help you do the bookkeeping and make sure we avoid some red flags and get everything in order so that when you take your books to the tax preparer, they don't have to sit there and recreate them or do a lot of things or ask a lot of questions. I also offer, if I do your books, your tax preparer is more than welcome to contact me and ask questions rather than you.
all right. Perfect. Okay. That's great. Um, and let's kind of paint a picture here. What does your clients' lives look like after they've purchased your services?
Oh, they're so relaxed. They're like,
Mm,
thank you so much. I've had more than one client, several of them say, I could not do this without you. It works out really well because then they can focus on their clients and their business and satisfying whatever their clients need. And they don't have to worry about the bookkeeping and keeping up with everything, which, like I said, most of my clients come to me and that, they think it's boring anyway. So they
right,
don't want to keep.
right. Okay, awesome. Well, do you have any tips or advice that you could offer an independent contractor that's, maybe starting to get a little bit stressed out with their taxes, or maybe, they're growing? What kind of advice would you give them in considering, what to do about their taxes?
Outsource
Mm.
as much as you can. Focus on what you do best and hire people to do the rest. And I did not even plan that to rhyme before I said that.
Oh, can we do that again? Can you
It
make it
might
rhyme again?
rhyme, doesn't it? That's
Yeah.
awesome. But yes, I mean, if you can find somebody else to do part of your business for you, do it. I mean, as a small business owner myself, you realize, I didn't learn that in school. I didn't go to school for that particular aspect of being a business owner. And
Right.
so, that is what a lot of small business owners just try and take everything on themselves. And obviously, when you start out, that's what you do. But as you grow and to grow, you're going to have to let some people help you.
That's awesome advice, because I can totally resonate with that. And oftentimes I feel like maybe this is me talking, but I feel like the entrepreneur mindset is like, I'm going to tackle the world, I can do this, and then I can do that, and I can do that, and I can do that, and then you start to realize, actually, I can't do everything. I really need to step back and do exactly what you said, which is, what do I do best, and then find the people that I can trust to do the rest. Hey, there we go. We brought it back.
Right, right.
That's good. Okay, well then let's do a plug here. What's the best way for someone to get in contact with you to purchase your services?
The best way is to go to my website, which is just kaneaccounting.com. And that's with a K, Kane.
Yep. Yep.
And then my email is also wendy@kaneaccounting.com. And that would be
Perfect.
the easiest.
Okay, go to the website, get some more information, and then contact Wendy directly, wendy@kaneaccounting.com. Okay, awesome. Well, let's shift and let's talk more about you as an entrepreneur and how you got here in your journey. Let's just start with, why do you do this? Why do you do Kane Accounting?
Well, there's kind of two aspects of it. Why I serve these particular clients and why I decided to do it on my own. When
Okay.
I worked for the CPA firms doing tax returns, we would have, people would come in tax season and they would have a business and they would need the tax return done. And they would say, I need my taxes done. And we're like, okay, you're a business. We need to see your financial statements. And they would say, my financial statements? And you would go, yes, balance sheet, income statement. And they would look at us and they go, well, I have a bank statement. And you're like, I bet you have 12 of them. How about you bring those
Mm,
in? And then we would find someone in the office to type everything in QuickBooks as quickly as we possibly could and go from there. So the problem with that is, one, it made our bill to them be a lot higher because we had to sit there and do the bookkeeping. And two, when you go back, it would be maybe they were coming in before March or April. A lot of times it was more like June.
mm,
And you're trying to remember, what was this $200 ATM withdrawal 15 months ago, back in February of last year? I mean, no one knows,
right.
and so there was a lot of guesswork, educated guesswork, but still a lot of that went on. And I just thought, how are these people running businesses? I mean, you can't run a business if you don't know what money you have coming in and where your money is going. And these people need bookkeeping help bad. And so when I went out on my own, when I decided I was done doing taxes, I was like, I need to help these people. And like I said, a lot of them are self-employed and don't really realize it. Like either their industry makes them be an independent contractor, or some just totally start businesses and, they are focused on what they like to do and how they like to serve their clients. And, they didn't go to school for accounting, just like I
Right.
didn't go to school for marketing. So me and sales, you know,
Right.
and that's why I started this business, because I was like, these people need some help. It will help lower their tax return bill, their tax preparation bill, not the amount they owe. But I can also help them lower that amount. And it will just help them have a better idea of how their business is doing. I mean, you have to look at the numbers monthly. I mean, Walmart, Tyson, JB Hunt, they didn't get there by going, oh, I don't know, my accountant just does it. I mean, they just didn't get there that way. They look at every single little tiny thing, and that's how you build big companies.
Nice. That's awesome. That's a very, very strong why. Like, I feel like I can hear it in your voice, like you're super attached to, these individuals' success and recognizing that they do have a problem they're facing, one that they are, indirectly creating for themselves, but you're showing them, how they can get out of this, essentially this kind of hole they've dug in a way.
Mhm.
That's awesome. All right. Well, when you got started, what was the toughest thing that you went through?
The toughest thing I went through was being confident. Accounting, and like I said, I don't do tax returns now, but I get everything ready to send to a tax return. And it's very technical. So there's a lot of things. Even with accounting, I mean, I went to school, I have a degree. You can't know everything about everything. So there's a lot of things you have to look up. And there's a lot of times, I mean, you've heard, about the tax rules. It's like, if this, then that, unless it's this, but then if it's this, it's that. And there's a lot of that type of stuff. So you have to look up a lot of rules. I called a lot of people who knew more than me. I called help desks. I Googled a bunch of things. The IRS website, if you're willing to dig, is actually a pretty good resource.
Right.
But that's one of my superpowers. I'm not scared of it. Other people are like, oh my gosh, can you imagine having to look up,
Right.
instructions on there? So anyway, being confident in my abilities. And that it came over time. It took a while. The first
Yeah.
few times I met with a client, you're just so nervous and you're like, oh my gosh, are they actually going to pay me? Are they actually going to trust me?
Trust you, right.
And yeah, as you do it more and people say, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I couldn't do this without you. We're so glad we have you. It builds on itself and you get better at doing it.
Well, I like how you described confidence in that it wasn't with this assumption that you just knew everything already. Like, what made you confident wasn't that you knew that you could solve the problem just off the cuff. The confidence was, yeah, I may be presented with some things that I may not fully understand or know how to do yet, but I know where to go to get the answers, and I'm willing to put in the work to make that happen. That's what at least what I heard from you to describe confidence as, which I think is awesome.
Yes, because you have to realize, no one knows the entire tax code.
Right.
And the GAAP, generally accepted accounting principles. Most of them, but you still, every now and then you're like, I think it was this. Did they change? And then it changes every few years. So you still have to look stuff up. So once you get past the, I have to know everything all the time idea, then it got easier for me to be able to say, I think it does, but let me look that up and get back with you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we gotta talk about this as an entrepreneur, and then also from a business perspective. Did COVID positively or negatively impact your business?
It actually, I hesitate to say this because
Well,
it's not.
the truth is the truth. I mean, I could hear. I knew when I asked this question, I was like, I could see where you may not have been super negatively impacted, but I wanted to hear it from you. So you tell us.
I was not really impacted at all. As far as being able to conduct my business, I have an office here downtown. I'm
Right.
the only one in the office. And so I kept coming in because even in the house that it's in, there's less than 10 of us here. So I kept coming in every day of the pandemic. It helped because suddenly my husband and kids were home all day. And I was like, okay, I can't work with y'all here. I gotta
Yeah,
get out of the
yeah,
house.
yeah.
Um, so as far as the actual day-to-day workings of it, it didn't affect much at all. I use QuickBooks Online, which is a cloud-based accounting platform. And
Hmm.
so all my clients they can be remote. I
Right.
mean, I work with most people here in Fayetteville, but I don't see them except maybe the first time or two we meet. And then after that, it's all email anyway.
Right.
So it did cause a lot, there was a lot of more new learning that took place because obviously suddenly I was helping people fill out PPP applications. I mean,
Mm,
it's an alphabet soup, ERTC, FFCRA, and I had to do a lot of learning on my own and helping those clients. And we got through it, but those first few months were kind of dicey just because, I mean, the ink wasn't even dry on the laws before clients are emailing and calling saying, hey, I want to apply for this. And
yeah.
so you had to get up to speed real quick. And so, that was challenging, but I, I made it. I'm
Yeah.
still looking back. Those first April and May that was a lot.
Horrendous. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as the overall business, we just kind of kept rocking along. I didn't expand any. I had planned to try and look at some new clients or some new avenues to go into back in the fall of 2019.
Mm,
And I'm glad that that ended up being put on hold because then the pandemic hit and I was like, okay, this was not the time to try and grow a business. Everyone
right.
was just like, stay afloat, just stay afloat and make it through.
Yeah. Okay. That's great. That's awesome. Um, well, speaking about that, and I guess related to the business entrepreneur wise, like what are you doing now to bring in new clients? What would be like your number one way to grow your business?
I'm looking to offer more daily like cash flow analysis. I don't know if you want to call it that, but kind of taking their business, not just doing the books and making the QuickBooks look nice and reconciling the accounts and going, all right, there you go, it's done.
Hmm.
What I would like to do is sit down with business owners and look forward rather than just backward and say, okay, here's where your business is. Where do you want your business to go? And how do you think you're going to get there? And help them look at which clients are the most profitable or which services are the most profitable. Maybe help them figure out which expenses they could cut or reduce, and just kind of some future financial planning for them and their business.
Okay, that sounds cool. All right. Well, where do you see your business in the next 6 months to a year?
In the next 6 months to a year, I see myself having more independent contractor clients coming in. Some other small businesses, I forgot to mention that at the beginning. I do work with startups a lot.
No.
Um, And yes, and it works if a lot of them have gotten funding like from venture capitalists and they suddenly need financials because these guys, they want to see the numbers because
Right.
they know what's up.
Right.
And
Right.
so I can work with those types of clients. I would like to get one or two more larger clients like that and then a few more independent contractors. Um, I would like to develop, like I said, a plan to help my clients look at their financials going forward rather than just telling them what happened. And some of that's going to be, it's going to depend more on the individual client. I don't know if I can have like a blanket program, it's going to be like
Sure.
sitting down with them and going, okay, where do you want to go?
Yeah. Fairly customized. Okay. Well, okay. Well, with that being said, you have these, ambitions you're looking to achieve. What challenges are you currently facing right now to achieve those things that maybe somebody else is listening right now and they say, hey, I actually might be able to help you do that.
Marketing. I'm not
Okay.
good at marketing. That's
Okay.
one of the hats that a small business owner wears that I'm like, oh, I didn't take marketing in school. I'm better now since I've been doing this for 5 years. I've gotten better at understanding what selling is and what it's not.
Right.
But I would be lying if I said I was good at it.
Would
I do
you,
need.
Yeah,
Go on.
go ahead. Yeah, no, finish.
Well, I need to start networking again.
Mm,
And obviously that was impacted because of COVID. So
yep.
here I've been looking for places. I'm like, okay, I need to start going to some of these networking events and just meeting more people, because it never fails. Somebody somewhere, even if it's not that exact person, they'll go, oh, you need a bookkeeper. I met a lady. Let me get you her name. And
Nice.
word of mouth is how pretty much all of my clients have come. So
Right.
that's why I need to get back out there and start doing it.
Well, that's a strong statement, I feel like, to your character and to your integrity. So congrats on that. Would you agree on the statement that if you build it, they will come?
Mm, as for what, the business or the,
Related to your business. Yeah, related to your business.
I guess so. I mean, I don't know. It depends. I'm not sure what you're
Yeah,
asking.
well, I bring this up because of what you're talking about. You know, you get into, from an entrepreneur perspective, you think, okay, I can do this, whether if it's a skill or I can provide this service or I've created this product. And I think it was a bit of a reality check to me that, yeah, I've created this thing, but just because I've created this thing doesn't mean that people are just going to come to my door knocking and saying, yeah, I totally want to get this thing. And I felt like I heard you kind of saying that, like, yeah, I can do this really, awesome skill and related to taxes, but now I've also got to figure out how I'm going to help people know that I do this and then get them to trust me enough to pay me to do it for them. I just think it's a harsh reality sometimes that it doesn't always mean just because you build it, people are just gonna come. Unlike the movie,
Oh,
I wish the movie was like that.
if people don't know I'm out here, how am I going to get more? I mean, how can I help anybody if they don't know about me? That's one reason I saw this interview,
Yeah,
the 479 Spotlight, and I thought, oh, there, I can
yeah,
tell
yeah,
people about me,
yeah,
and like I
yeah.
said, that's why I just need to get back out there, because you can't just, as a small business owner, it's very tempting, but you can't rest on your laurels. I mean, you always have to know, and I tell my clients this, you always have to know where your next sale is coming from. And so, it has to do with working on your business, not just in your business. I can do the technical bookkeeping stuff, but at some point, I've got to have clients coming down the pike, or, I mean,
Some
my clients,
conversation started.
too big. If I'm too successful, they go on and they hire, full-time accountants and do, whole accounting departments. And so
Sure.
that would be, my goal. But then that's good for them. But then I'm like, okay, well, now I need somebody else to help.
That's a good problem to have though, right? That's good.
Right, right.
Okay, awesome. Well, this has been great. Let's do one more shameless plug for the best way to get in contact with you to purchase your services.
Okay, it's through my website, kaneaccounting.com, and you can fill out the form there, or you can just email me at wendy@kaneaccounting.com. And that's Kane with a K,
With a K.
Kane.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Again, 479 Spotlight's mission is to provide free promotion to local businesses in NWA to give them more exposure and create more trust in the community. To get notified of new interviews, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube by searching 479 Spotlight or by going to 479spotlight.com. If you are a business owner and would like to be featured, just schedule your interview on 479spotlight.com. Thank you for joining us today. Keep having fun, NWA. Wendy, do you have any last words you'd like to say?
Um, Everyone needs to do their bookkeeping. Everyone needs to keep up with your financial records and your books. And I am an accountant with a personality. I'm fun. I like to laugh. I am not scary. It's not like coming to the principal's office if you come here. I will help you, meet you where you are, figure out what you got to figure out and where you want to go, and we'll go from there.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Wendy, for coming today.
Yes, you're welcome, Brock. Thank you so much.
All right, take care.